It's the show. What's up, everybody?
Good morning.
What was that? Yawn, Brandon. Come on. It's,
Tired, man.
it's
Always,
Mark.
always tired.
Mark, the guy behind the Mental Marketer private Facebook group. As always, here practicing, getting better day by day, week by week, month by month, closing the deals. And then we have Brandon. Go ahead.
Yeah, we got Brandon here with BK XX Marketing, getting your company found and lowering your cost per acquisition. Yes,
Yes.
that's what we do.
We've got Inky Morales here, always closing the deal, always training, always improving. Currently on the treadmill, I was doing intervals with my dog, Jackie. We're taking turns here on the treadmill. We're not going to make an excuse, just going to make it happen.
Yeah. Before we start today, we got something to do, Brandon. So I'm just going to do it on 1, 2, 3. Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to you.
you. Happy
Happy birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you. Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday, dear
dear
Laura.
Laura.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, how old are you?
You don't ask a lady your age. Come on now, Mark.
Mark, what's wrong with you?
But
She's forever 21. That's it. That's her age.
oh
That's
yeah.
it. That's right. Just turned officially 30. Super excited. This is going to be the best decade of my life, right? No longer in my 20s. I spent a lot of my 20s hopping cities, hopping jobs, hopping opportunities. Now I am in a very fun, stable, lucrative sales career in the franchise sales world. So I'm going to get really good at that because the people are in that space are in their, 50s, 60s, which gives somebody like me that just turned 30 enormous amount of opportunity to learn from my peers that are twice my age and go dominate that space.
Great. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, yeah, it's going to be a different journey for you, a different decade.
Different decade.
A different decade, and I'm pretty sure you're just like fine wine. You're just going to get better with time. That's
exactly.
Yes. Yes, and of course, you know, okay. Well, we'll
Let's
have
kick
to
it
get
off.
yeah, we'll have to get some cake or something, like some virtual cake. Got a lot
Yeah.
of we had a lot of exciting things that's been going on. So we got a lot to cover today. Let's start. Of course, we are getting into our closer survival guide. We did go over a few closes today. If you're watching out there on the live, give us a hashtag live. If you're watching on the replay, hashtag replay, or just give us a heart, a like. Let's push this out to more people so they can see this and enjoy this with us as well. It's like a chain reaction when you hit that heart button. It just continues to push this out to more people. Do you have your book today, Brandon? Or do you want to go over the closes that we covered today in our practice?
I do not have the book. I apologize in advance.
I got one right here. One right here. Jackie's got hers right here.
Oh, yeah.
Jackie, do you know how to read yet? I know you're only 8 weeks old, but do you know how to read yet?
Pitch practice puppy.
Pitch practice girl. Okay, let's see. Where should we start? I would say the best one out of every single one that we read is, how do you justify an investment of this size?
Okay. That was the justify close.
Yeah, how do you justify close? How do you justify an investment of the size? This is a good trial and lock close. Because the buyer is going to be telling you if it makes sense to purchase something. This is used by very professional closers who welcome knowing the truth, don't wish the deal close, but who actually close them. This clause also eliminates buyer's remorse. It allows the buyer to rationalize a decision, which is important because a buyer has to make logic out of even the most emotional purchase for the deal to stay closed.
Right. It's one of those clauses that it's sort of like kind of information gathering. Feels to me like you're just trying to get their process that you can actually oh yeah, this is used by welcome the truth, knowing the truth of the matter, don't wish deals closed. Okay. Yeah, that was one of the tips. We only went over 5 closes today. Well, we had the 11th inning close.
Yeah.
We had the first close that didn't, I think we all agreed wasn't a very good close, because that close was if I could, would you? And
Right.
it said that if I could handle every objection you have, would you make a decision on this product? That seems to me that you're bringing up the word objection.
Yeah.
You had an experience with that before, Brandon?
All the time, and I'm guilty of using it as the fallback. It's very prevalent in the automotive space. You know, when you're negotiating going back and forth with a buyer on price, you know, and they're like, I don't want to pay that price. I want to pay this, and then you're like, all right, if I can do that, then will you buy it? Type deal, and right there, all your gross is gone. So you spend 4 hours for a mini deal, you know, and it's not fun. Those paychecks aren't fun.
Those paychecks aren't fun. Yeah. Yeah, I know we were talking about paychecks and taxes. So, but that's another discussion. I said you're bringing up the word objection. You're bringing up the word objection, and when you're bringing up that word objection, it seems it's just going to trigger the mind to say if I could handle every objection you have. Objection. What objections do I have? How many objections do I have? Seems to me you're prompting them to have objections. Maybe they didn't have objections. They've just got questions. Maybe if I could handle every question you have, would you make a decision to buy this product? But or I even like the kind of closing that he used during his challenge when he says that he just comes straight out and he says that just because I think we talked about this last week, how he didn't waste any time putting that offer out there during his challenge. And he says that have you seen enough? Have I given you enough information for you to make a decision? Have I given you enough to make you a decision? You know, he called that the $1 billion close, Brandon.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he called that the $1 billion close in the challenge. He said this one is the $1 billion close, and I think that's one of the reasons why I think when we had that discussion about just immediately putting the offer out there on the table before really overcoming any objections. If we talk about that, I think the last discussion we had was just after the first day of the challenge. But what did you think about the rest of the challenge? Laura's taking a break. I think she must be handling pitch practice puppy.
Guys, I'm handling a fire with my dog.
Yeah.
A big fire.
We
guys, money's calling. I got to pick up the phone. I've got an 8:00 with a customer. I super apologize.
That's okay. Go get the bag.
Okay. So my boyfriend, I'm gonna close out with this. Okay. Listen, my boyfriend, we love the song "Unholy" by Sam Smith because it's hilarious to make fun of, And Sam's, and I don't even know if I can do this with my back on.
All you gotta do is move.
But Sam Smith is like, when he signs out. And, anyway, it's hilarious. Hey, have a great pitch rest of practice. Money's calling. I gotta go pick up the phone even when my face is bleeding.
Go out there, close the deal.
Close the deal, guys.
All right. Talk to you soon.
So back to the question, what are all the rest of the challenge? I thought the rest of the challenge was good. I had to miss day 5 I had to miss Saturday, family event, so I was out all day, so I have to go back and catch the replay of Brandon Dawson. But no, I thought the rest of the information was great. I will say it was tough to manage the time to be on the Zoom for the 2 hours or so that they had the event every day.
Yeah,
and that's always the biggest challenges in those events is being able to get that much attention over those many days.
Yeah,
and I think that's why day 1 he pitched the offer. Because if you waited to day 5 to pitch the offer, your attrition rate is probably, I don't know, 25-30% aren't going to make it to the final day, if that. And then you have to worry about, following up either with Facebook retargeting ads or emails to get them back in to re-engage. So smart on him to pitch 11 minutes in, so you know what you're getting, and then that way it does even the room out and make people want to stay. All right, what am I spending this much money for? What am I going to get? So I don't know. I thought it was well put together. Content was great. Speakers were great. The bonus day on Tuesday was stressing me out, but
stressing you out.
It did. Like the one girl that was on there, what she was talking about doing with the content and AI and
my gosh,
and everything like that. I was like, yeah.
Oh my gosh. It was it was like he allowed everyone to kind of pitch. So it was like it was kind of like, did you notice that she pitched a class that competed against his growth con? It was like the same days. Maybe you didn't notice that, but it was.
I did it. Hers is probably recorded as well, so they can buy that and watch it at another time if it's virtual. But
she said, I have a challenge and I want you to join me. And it was like the same dates that he has GrowthCon. And I thought, wow, that's crazy. It's like, okay, he's gonna have GrowthCon because Grant likes to compete with big events. I think he competed against the Super Bowl, and I think let's see, the Super Bowl is in 2, so it's like it's the coming week, not this week. So he's having it the following week this year, but he is competing with Valentine's Day.
He did it in 2020 as well. When I went to GrowthCon, the first time I went, it was during Valentine's weekend. So I was like, I don't know how my wife was about it at the time, but but her birthday is like a couple days after Valentine's anyway, so it's all lumped into one. So so he's competing with that, and I think he times it around automotive NADA as well. So like he's in Vegas for probably the next 2 to 3 weeks because he'll have his GrowthCon out there. He'll have the automotive conference as well. I don't know the exact dates of what the automotive deal is, but usually that's how he's structuring it. So he's in the same place that he doesn't have to keep traveling back and forth and things like that. So there's a method to his madness.
Yeah. And it's you definitely saw the numbers. I think the numbers of people attending decrease over the days as the days went by. Let's see. We saw Russell Brunson. We got a package from Russell Brunson. We saw Pete Vargas do a presentation. We saw Jared do a presentation. I think TD Jakes. I'm just naming the names that I I either maybe saw or heard in the background, because I'm at this time I'm working. I'm keeping all the distractions away, but sort of having to look in the background with it playing. Then what who else did I think he had? I didn't see Robert. Maybe he had Robert Herjavec on. I didn't see him at all. Um, in the offer. I think we talked about it last week, and you saw that this was pretty much none of not really new material. It's mostly content that's been repurposed and that he's
Mhm.
used for other other packages. I think a lot of them did that. Um,
Yeah,
mhm.
it's smart. I mean, if for as far as I've gone down the rabbit hole, there's only so many ways you can say something.
Right.
So there's so much information that's already out there. It's already been done that can be done and reused, because once it's out there, it's out there. You just have to take different bits and pieces of it, put it in a new thing, call it something else, and resell it. This program that he's doing, this coaching program. I was in the quote unquote first mentoring program. Back at the end of 2019, leading up to GrowthCon, and that
Mhm.
program was a lot longer than what this one is going to be. It
Yeah,
looks like it just kind of taken it and condensed it down to
14 days.
14 days, and I know mine lasted. It started in like November of 19, I think, October, November 19,
Hmm. Wow,
and
it's been that
and
long.
went um through GrowthCon. Like it was one a week. So it's like 14 weeks up until GrowthCon. So I don't know how much attrition they had during that program, to where they say, you know what, it's taking too long to get everybody through. We want them to buy into GrowthCon.
Hmm.
So let's condense it, and then at the end pitch the virtual, or give them the virtual, however they want to do it. So it's smart how he's doing it. His events do sell out, but I will say not everybody ends up going. They'll buy the ticket but not show, because I ended up
Yeah.
getting pretty good seats because I moved down where people weren't sitting.
Couple of things that I observed from just the entire operation. Um, I thought that I'm going to say I thought that one of the a powerful presentation that one of the powerful speakers I saw was actually Elena Cardone. I thought she I thought she had a powerful speech, and I thought that her speech, just talking about how they started, even though you know okay, he says that I don't care where you're starting at, you're starting from zero. But when you're starting from $1 million, is that really zero? you know,
Everybody's a different level of broke. So
oh, oh, $1 million broke, right? Is $1 million broke? I guess $1 billion is broke too, then, right?
it can be. I mean, it just depends on how much you got going out to coming in. I heard that quote, when I was selling cars down in Tampa, Florida. Um, you know, one of my sales managers was just talking about the GM, the fact that every day that he wakes up, $500 is gone the first minute that he opens his eyes. So, um,
Hmm.
we're all at a different level of broke if you really look at it, for what our bills and expenses are,
Okay.
as compared to what we're bringing in, and definitely we want to bring in more than we're putting out. So him saying that he was broke at $1 million. I mean, you got to think about it. Is it liquid million? Is it net worth million? Is like how quickly do you have access to that cash and capital to do anything with? So I can
Yeah.
100% agree that, and say that you could be a millionaire and still be broke on the streets.
Oh, definitely. You can be in the negative. So you could consider yourself, if your liabilities are more than your assets, then you might be. I think that's probably how a lot of people actually live.
Yeah,
You know, they're if they were to look at their actual net worth, but I think it's still you're gonna have access to different resources probably if you actually have zero or if you have $1 million. The things that you have access to, I think we were talking about this before about about saying that I gotta have a Rolls Royce. I gotta have heated seats. I need heated and cooled seats. When in reality, you can actually get things done with just the transportation. All these other added on things are just bonuses. If you want to get it done, you can get it done, but you have access to those things. So you have access to a vehicle where someone else that might be at actual zero doesn't have access to a vehicle. So
Mhm.
so when I'm saying that there's a different levels of broke, you could have a truly broke person that really doesn't have the resources, doesn't have internet connection, doesn't have a laptop, and those basic things. That's broke.
Yeah,
you
that's
know, and
you got troubles there.
and here I have, okay, let's say maybe I am negative assets, I owe more, but I have internet connection, I have access to transportation, I have access to communication. And I think those are the real things that maybe someone that might say I'm really truly broke, and then you're saying, well, I'm broke too. I would say, okay, maybe it's more about access to those things. Um, I made some more observations from the challenge. No, you know what I noticed, Brandon? I noticed from day one how he had the money out there,
Yeah.
and and how he, maybe you could say gamify it, maybe gamifying a challenge. Um, and rewarding people. But I've always, yeah, and I've seen other people do it too. I've seen it happen a lot where people will say, join us and you could win a prize. A lot of times it's, maybe I've seen camera gift sets. What do you think about that type of reward system?
I think it entices people to stay engaged uh, with the with with the program or challenge. And everybody wants an incentive. They want that carrot dangling in front of them, grab the brass ring type deal.
Hmm.
So I don't have a problem with it. If I were to do one, I would probably give something away as well. So um, yeah, I've never won, but you know the the premise is smart. You always got to keep give. That's Grant's rule number one is give.
Yeah, yeah. 10,000. Maybe he was giving away full. Okay, okay. Uh yeah, okay. I noticed that part of it though, and I thought that the cash thing, I don't even know if it was really cash or whether it was just credits to use towards his store.
No, it was
And
cash. He said it was cash, and then they said most people were just using it to reinvest back into the challenge to get the information. People rather have the information than the money, which makes sense. I probably would have done the same thing too if I would have won. I would just put it back in there just to see what it was all about and to get the access to the virtual growth con.
because
Um,
the way it was worded, this is the way it was worded. You're gonna get $1,000 to put back into your business. So
yeah,
so how things are worded are important, and what people hear, and a lot of times what it actually is, they'll get it and they'll say, oh, I thought I was going to get $1,000 cash, but what you're really giving me is $1,000 to spend towards your store. So I think sometimes that's how it was worded. It was worded
mhm.
as $1,000 to put back into your business. So what does that mean exactly? You know what? That's a great question. We're gonna have a good opportunity to probably really dig deep into some of the training from that Unbreakable challenge. You excited about that?
Yeah, I was a go-getter over the weekend a little bit and went through the marketing section. Very short. I think there's like 10 or 7 or so 7-minute videos. So it won't take very long to get through everything. But it was good information, concise to the point, like no fluff around it. You don't have hour-long videos giving you the entire back history of who the person is and why you should listen to them and all that kind of stuff. No, it was just, Grant, here's the information, go do it.
Right. Okay. I'll look through. I saw. Okay, he had this system. He talked about first aid, money and mindset. Money and mindset super important. Then he got into the second part. I think it was the marketing. That's one of the most important parts. That third part was it communication? Yeah, because it was communication, and then it was sales, and then the last step was scaling. So I'm interested to see I'm interested to see about what he teaches, whether it's just strategy or whether he gives actual down and dirty tactics, and because when I listen to Grant, I hear a lot of motivation. I hear a lot of how you should think, but I don't hear a lot of uh okay, here's a strategy. I hear a lot of high level plan. Start off with your target, keep going for your target. And if you don't do your target, it's because you're not this, or maybe you need to shift your thinking a little bit. But I want to see if he gets into actual strategies. Like, okay, he does have strategies in the Closer Survival Guide. His package has a lot of. It seems like he's adding something every day.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like he's adding something every day. I think I'm really looking forward to see what everything there is in there. From the digital copies of his book to a lot of the speakers bringing on their bonus items as well. So that'll be interesting. And also be interesting to see what the numbers end up being. How many people joined up? I noticed he did over the past next days, he started to actually hit those objections. He started to hit those questions, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
and started to actually conquer those. There was one point in there where I saw Jared, and you can tell, I have a tendency of listening to what they say and saying to myself, okay, this is the objection that they are handling with that conversation or with that piece, because it's typically always meant to try to overcome some thought in their mind. Any other observations you made, Brandon?
No, sorry, I had something in my eye. I just know they pitched hard. Like after day 3, like it was probably the hardest pitching I've ever seen done for a virtual event. And they weren't shy about it. There are a lot of objections out there, and the final objection that they overcame was cost. They ended up breaking it down to a 7-pay. First
Yeah,
it was
they
a 3
did.
pay. First it was a 3 pay, and then they broke it down to a 7-pay.
I was like, a 7-pay for $1,000. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, so they want as many people in there as possible, and make it as affordable as possible to get the information, which is great. Additionally, with that, it was a 30-day money back guarantee, and if you bought it now, you could have went through everything, even GrowthCon,
Yeah.
called them up and got your money back. So I mean, there really was no reason not to do it.
And you got $9.97 in credit too, right?
Yeah, for the store for another program, either a program in the store or to go down to one of their in-person events. And I think that's where you're going to get the actionable items. That's what they want. So Grant preaches the high level stuff, show them how to do it, and then sell them the method on doing it, which is the in-person, training and coaching and all that kind of stuff.
Well, you've seen a lot of his stuff and gone through it. What do you think? Is it really that as far as getting down to it, is it really?
Yeah, I'm just over halfway through Cardone University. I started in 2020. They said it takes 2 to 3 years to really go through everything. I haven't been consistent in going through it, which is why it's taken me so long. But it's good information and allows you to have a set structure in selling and just kind of going through deals. I mean, it helped me enough to be the top grossing, sales guy at the last dealership I worked at. I wasn't the number one in volume, which kind of hurt me because that was just me trying to drum up traffic in a new market. But when I got a deal, like I made it a deal, and the pandemic obviously helped because there wasn't any inventory, but there was still enough inventory and other brands out there to compete with that, once I got a deal, it was a deal.
All right. Well, let's look forward to actually really digging deep in that and taking it just like we do this pitch practice and getting in there and practicing it, learning and growing this year. Here's to a great 2023. Can't believe we're already at the end of we're already into the second month of the year.
That's crazy.
So let's go. If you're out there listening, we hope that you are out there, just sticking to your targets, right? You make that target. One of the first things he started off was, set your flag right now where you want to be at December the 31st, 2023. Keep that target in front of you and always keep going for it. All right.
Sounds good, man.
That's it. And other than that, we want to give a shout out to you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for always tuning in. And we'll see you on the next pitch practice.
All right. Have a good week.